Okay, this is how to change out a bad button in a bump bar and basically rebuild a bump bar. So I've got a bump bar here. First thing is you want to remove these 4 screws out of the back. I'm going to do that right now. It's real simple actually. I'm going to use this little screw gun here. Okay, and then once I remove my screws, I'm going to take this and just push, and that separates the front from the back. So this is the back of your bump bar, and this is your face plate with your placard on there. So we're going to set this to the side for right now, and we are going to take a look at this right here. And we're going to go ahead and replace the 1 button, and actually this one has the 5 button, which is for the bottom row. We're going to replace both of these. You need a razor knife, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut. Sometimes people will cut around the circle. It's really better to just cut a section out. And when you're cutting, you want to make sure not to cut the board itself. Just cut the tape. And then once you cut that, you just lift the tape, which chances are it's going to be greasy. But once you remove the tape, just pop the bar or pop the button completely off. See that? Took it completely off of that one. I'm going to go ahead and cut 5. And again, I'm just cutting the tape and just cutting a section out. Cutting the tape section. Lift the tape up just like that. Just pop the button off. Now you're going to want to have some degreaser, and you're going to want to degrease the area where the button came off of. Just what I'm doing. It gets rid of the, you want to get rid of the sticky part and then the grease that keeps the button from making contact. There's a lot of it on this one, you can see that. Clean that, make sure it gets dried. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is, we've got our buttons here. And I'm placing that button right over the circle. Then I'm going to take a piece of tape, and all I do is once I've got that button in place, I'm going to tape over the top of it and make sure that the tape sticks to the actual board itself, and then just kind of test the button, make sure the button's got some give, that it's bumping, or that it's giving the feedback that it needs to. And that's really it as far as replacing the buttons go on the bump bar. However, there is the faceplate, and with the faceplate, you can see that this one's got tape on it. You're going to get a lot more use out of it if you will not use the tape. What you need to get is some of this sealant. Sticks even when it's wet. And again, you might give the inside of this just a wipe to get rid of any grease that would keep it from sticking. This is the inside of my bump bar case. And I'm going to drop a new faceplate on here. And what I'm actually gonna do is, you can either make a bead with this, you get a toothpick or something like that to kind of clean it up. I like taking some of this on my finger and just kind of working it around. You can see this right here. I'm just putting it around the edge here on the inside, just to give that placard some adhesiveness. And then I'm going to take and apply the placard over the glue that I just put down there, and just kind of press it, make sure it's good to go. Now this one we're going to put aside to dry. We've already got one that Cage has got going here, so we're going to use that for time's sake. But once you've got that going, you're just going to drop the front faceplate on top of that, and then you're going to put your 4 screws back in. Make sure your ribbon cable is connected before you close, because you don't, your ribbon cable right here, sometimes those come undone and that'll cause a bump bar not to work. So, and then you just drop your faceplate right back on here, just like that. Put your screws in, clean it up, and you've got a good working bump bar.